Can the All Blacks win the Rugby World Cup? Can they win a really hard quarter-final without their #1 team, with those 4 frontliners out injured? 2 weeks ago, Sir Steve Hansen was on the breakdown live from France in camp with the Wallabies. Now, Mills, he is in camp with the All Blacks for the next 2 weeks in Lyon. What is that?
Having his presence around some of those other guys as well, and some of the things that he would say, that can go a long way into helping him in this sort of situation. You've got to remember, look, they came into this and they would have hopefully had a plan as well, hadn't it not gone right. It hasn't gone their way, the result. But the reality is, once you get to that quarterfinals, which they should make, right? That's when it should really start.
He can come into the All Blacks and have 2 or 3 words of wisdom that might give them an edge, then it's great. And they obviously feel as though he can add some value, just like the former players who have been there. We'd started to build these great combinations, and all of those combinations, you think about the midfield, you think about the front row, the loose forward trios, all of those combinations are now gone because we've got someone out from all of them. So how hard is it for them to come back in, and we need to elevate our performance collectively as a group.
The thing is, right now, the biggest struggle for the All Blacks is keeping their players on the field. They have 4 major injuries right now. Amoni Narua has gone back to New Zealand. Absolutely devastating news for him. The back injuries ruled him out of his first ever Rugby World Cup. Before it even got started, news confirmed that Ethan Blackadder will come across. He'll be landing on Monday in France. Let's talk about him first. He brings exactly what the All Blacks need, Mills: physicality. That's why he never stays on the field, because he is so intense with everything he does.
Yeah, so you've just talked about guys getting back on the field and staying off the field.
Please stay on the field.
I know, and this is the sort of guy that just throws his body at everything, not just in game, but also at training. And that's perhaps sometimes when he's sort of more vulnerable, he hasn't got the balance right in terms of just pulling back, because he feels good about hitting bodies and hurting people. I think they need it. I think it's probably a little bit of a blessing in disguise.
The fact that Ethan's gone and played some rugby, it was great footage of his Tasman Markle teammates. Yeah. The morning of a game, he's preparing to play. No, you're off to the airport to go to France.
He's and the so like his father, isn't he?
Oh, I tell you, well, the one thing you're going to get, the one thing you're going to get from just like his dad is you're going to get effort.
Yeah.
Effort from minute 1 to minute 80. If he can make the 80, the team we're going to name probably to play Namibia, then on to Italy. If some of these guys aren't fit, it's not the sides that have been successful already this season. So health is probably, to me, the most critical part of the All Blacks campaign right now.
The big juicy news story at the top of the show.
Leading your CGW tonight, it was a tough weekend at the office for 3 of our favourites on the sporting world stage. But if there are any fans falling off the Izzy, All Blacks or Wars bandwagons around Aotearoa today, Andrew has a message for you.
It's Anaru. It's a quote from Jake Hickey. And yes, while his character may be an antiquated stereotype from Once for Warriors, the essence of the statement rings true. You'll be back! You'll be back! It's not the end of the world. Losing is a part of sport.
Yeah. Let's go to another interesting selection conundrum, because when Sam Cane went down, as the president of the Luke Jacobson fan club, I was blown away that he wasn't selected at 6, and they chose a lock come blindside flanker for such a huge game, when you know that you need to be physically dominant, you know you got to clean, and you know that Luke Jacobson is that guy, Jipper.
Yeah, I was confused because I'd obviously gone for Dalton, so I was trying to get in my own head, okay, are they worried about the lineup? But then I'm like, well, Luke and Dalton are pretty similar players in that 6 role. So, I'm not too sure. And I think around that simplicity and clarity, I think we need to really focus on putting guys that play in their primary position. Had Ethan been fit, he was picked.
Yes.
Let's be honest.
Yep.
Like, there's no doubt about that. So it depends how quick he can get up to speed. And you'd have to think, Jace Ryan's a massive fan of him. He's probably going to select the forward pack. So he's a hot favourite to slip into that 6 jersey. So I don't want to, again, I hate singling out individuals, but we had a guy, Jerome Kano, on here calling Luke Jacobson concrete shoulders.
Yeah.
Like, the guy can do a job.
Yeah.
Like, you don't get called that from him. So, like, they've just got to get, like, I just think there needs to be real sharp clarity with everyone in the squad where their role is and what they need to play, and then we've got to get that rhythm like an island, as I was using before.
And I think this is the thing that confuses me when I look across the squad. You know, on the weekend when you had a lock playing 6, and then you had the guy who was going to start at 6 is actually a 7 playing 7, and then you've got a number 15 who in his own mind is a 10. You've got a right winger who's playing on the left wing, a fullback playing on left wing, Anton Leonard-Brown who prefers centre, I think, playing at 12. You know, like it's messy.
I think we're scarred as well as a nation, that is, from previous World Cups where players have played out of their, probably in their secondary or third position. If we can sort that discipline out and get the balance of our attack right, I still think we're a chance in this cup.
How full's that glass? Can you see how full
It's
that glass
full,
is?
mate. It's full.
Okay.
It's fully full.
How full's your glass?
Oh, of course we have the opportunity to still win this World Cup, but it's just certain areas that we need to be able to try and get right, and I think it's what I talked about in the very start of this podcast, is that our margin of error against these teams is very, very small. So collectively as players, whether you're 1 to 23, in crucial moments, you've got to be able to nail your job and be able to get that right. You know, whether it's a breakdown, whether it's a scrum, a set piece, or whatever it may be. That's where we haven't got it right against these top 2 teams. So whether we can get that, the high kind of situational pressure leading into the Rugby World Cup,